Hey Cyber Gangstas. So I wanted to do a separate video. I said in the last video I was going to do both topics in one video, but I wanted to go ahead and split them up. So here I'm going to be discussing Junior Lesson 13, which is I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Junior Lesson 12, which is Scoping and Segmentation, right? So we talked about what scoping was in the previous video and in the previous lesson, and it still continues on here, but it also adds another term called segmentation, right? So I'm going to read here from the guidance PCI scoping and segmentation document that's provided in the lesson files, just so I can get out what the definition is here. It says, at a high level, scoping involves the identification of people, processes, and technologies that interact with or could otherwise impact the security of cardholder data. Segmentation involves the implementation of additional controls to separate systems with different security needs. So here it goes on to say, for example, in order to reduce the number of systems in scope for PCI DSS, I talked about that in the last video, segmentation may be used to keep in-scope systems separated from out-of-scope systems. What does that mean, right? So to kind of break that down better, what I think, or not better, but to, for some of us who may need a little bit more help in understanding things. Let's say that there is, what were those stores called? Give me a second. Okay. I remember, for many of you, maybe some of you had kids, remember. Anyone ever heard of American Girl dolls? Okay. I have two daughters, and we went through the route of American Girl dolls, right? So American Girl doll store. You can go to a store and you can find a doll that looks like your child. They would pick out the doll. They would pick out their clothes. They actually have matching sets of clothes, right? So they have clothes that the doll can wear and clothes that the child can wear also that match, right? And in the stores, they actually have even a cafe that's next to it. And in the cafe, you can actually go and you would order you sandwiches, drinks, and whatnot and eat. And there's chairs for you, chairs for your doll. And, think tea party, but on a little bit grandiose scale. These are, we won't even talk about cost of these things, but they exist and they're there, okay? So thinking about how this store had a place for you to go purchase the doll and the accessories and items that go with the doll and yourself, there's also a separate restaurant or a separate business restaurant side of things for actual food and things and drinks and all that, right? So if you think of segmentation, there's two pieces to the store. In segmentation, there's PCI DSS related networks and systems, and there's non-PCI DSS related systems and networks, right? And so segmentation is a way for one business to be able to say, we want to make sure that we secure this network and that network. So we want to secure the networks or the computers that are on PCI or cardholder data environment networks, things that touch that information. We want to make sure that's secure in one area. So imagine like we put that in a vault over here on this side. And then on this side, we want to also put into a vault or secure from the rest everything that does not touch cardholder data, right? And so now segmentation has allowed us to take all the data that's collected in a company and say, okay, this is for non-cardholder data information, and that could be anything from the communication that they use within the company, like we use Slack. It could be HR's, human resource records, start dates, hire dates, termination dates for everybody, health benefits, the list goes on, right? So it can involve those systems in those areas right there. While the segmented part for cardholder data information is everything we've been learning about, right? So anything that touches the cardholder data. And that stuff is everything that we need to make sure is PCI DSS compliant. We're not necessarily concerned about that. So the scoping helps us see that we are not concerned with that as long as we can verify that it's not touching cardholder data environment. And segmentation means that those things are split so that our scope, our limited view of things is only going to stick onto what the cardholder data environment, things that touch that. So I hope that helps you out. I hope you're doing good on your journey. Thanks, everyone.